Buenos dias, all. RGT85 here. Hope everyone's having a great day. A couple things I want to talk about today. The New York Knicks play basketball. I'm very excited for that. Stick around to the end of the video. I have a very interesting announcement that's going to shock a lot of people, but I like to see the world burn and I like to have fun, so I'm looking forward to this. But without any further ado, let's talk about what's going on in the world of video games, and we're going to start things off with some information on PlayStation, because Herman Hulst, who's of course a prominent member of Sony Interactive Entertainment, has given sort of an update on the PlayStation 5 as far as what the future of Sony holds and what the future of the PlayStation brand holds. Now, yesterday I made a video kind of going off the rails about the direction of Sony, saying essentially they've lost their damn mind, and to some degree they have lost their damn mind. Like, the questions that arise from the decisions that they're making are just staggering. Like, there's things that are happening within Sony that don't really make sense, that kind of go back on what they have always sort of done. This whole Horizon Zero Dawn thing just seems really bizarre to a lot of people. But Herman did this interview with Axios. I'll have a link to it in the description box down below should you want to read it, or if you want to hear me sort of react to it, stick around instead. Like, there's no point in reading it, I'm giving you the information. So let's take a look at some of this stuff and then I will give my thoughts on it. So within this interview, they basically go over some of the, I guess, questions that a lot of PlayStation fans have been having recently, basically talking about, you know, their studios and stuff, their live games that they haven't announced but are deep in development, because everyone loves games as a service. They're still gonna make many single player experiences though, so don't fret. With the PC and the mobile market basically, you know, trying to dip their toes into that, I think this is one of the more interesting bullet points here. Sony may still make some games for the PlayStation 4 despite only having PlayStation 5 console exclusives announced beyond 2022. We certainly don't want to forget the millions of active players on the PlayStation 4, and we want to ensure that great games for them as well. We're evaluating it on a case-by-case basis. Now, that's something that Sony has been getting a lot of scrutiny for, and rightfully so. You know, Jim Ryan came out and said, well, we believe in console generations, but they're still making PlayStation 4 games well beyond the time frame that people thought it was going to be. Honestly, if I have to give you guys my personal opinion, I think we're going to see PlayStation 4 games well into 2024, maybe even beyond that. Like, it's very weird how this whole thing has been handled. They talk about things such as, of course, crunch, development crunch and whatnot. They say that there's going to be a year gap between when a game comes out on PlayStation and then is brought over to PC. So, on the surface level, I think most of this is fine. Most of this is pretty much, you know, business as usual. But the problem is, Sony has lied so much this console generation. It's hard to take what they say at face value because they flip-flop constantly. Maybe it's not lies, maybe things just change, but it ends up looking like a lie. When you say you're going to do one thing, when you say that one thing is going to be, you know, the focal point, and then you sort of pivot, it looks like a lie. So I don't know. You know, they're saying the right things in these interviews, but it's really more so of practice what you preach, you know. Actually follow through with things like this. I think you're going to see PlayStation 4 games well into 2024, and that's a problem. It stunts growth of these games. I don't care what any company says. I don't care, because I think we all realize that when a game is developed for a platform that is substantially weaker than the platform that is available on the market, it stunts the game growth. You're not going to make two completely separate versions of these huge blockbuster games. You're going to make something that's scalable. And when you make something that's scalable, you're taking into account the weaker hardware. So I don't know, man. And people say I'm too hard on Sony or whatever, but it's just like, bro, like, you have all the tools right there. You should be continuing your dominance from the PlayStation 4. And thus far with the PlayStation 5, I think a lot of fans are left a bit disappointed. But what do you think about this? Like I said, this interview is in the description box down below should you want to read it. But I mean, I've already told you all the cool stuff and all the interesting stuff, so don't bother reading it. Just let me know what you think of it. And finally, there's a Nintendo Direct happening, a surprise Nintendo Direct happening. And is this where the Zeldas and the Metroids and all the stuff that was supposed to allegedly be at the previous Nintendo Direct that's going to be at it? No, it's not. It's happening on October 6th. It's happening at 4:05 Eastern time. I guess they're doing TBS time. Remember how like TBS had WCW Saturday night, 6:05 Eastern on Saturday night? But no, there's actually going to be no video games at this Nintendo Direct. It's going to be for the Super Mario Brothers movie. Let's take a look at this. Don't give me no lip. Don't cry. Nintendo Direct in the comments. It clearly says Nintendo Direct. Clear as day. It says Nintendo Direct on the actual image. So don't come over here crying about clickbait and this, that, and the other. No, it is clearly a Nintendo Direct. They say it clear as day. Tune in at 1:05 p.m. Pacific time on 10/6 for a Nintendo Direct, the Super Mario Brothers movie presentation, including the world premiere trailer for the upcoming film. No game information will be featured. And then we have this image here. And this image here, there's definitely some things to take away from it. First off, I think it looks pretty decent. Like, you know, it's kind of weird how like the castle is up on the hill, and it's like, I guess we got to traverse through these areas as a hill climbing game or stuff like that. But I think the overall aesthetic, you know, it looks like what a Mario game would look like. I do find it interesting though, when you look at this perspective, if this were a video game and this was the first picture that you got from it, this perspective is a 3D perspective. We of course have talked about 2D Mario games recently. A lot of people got mad at me about it, but I mean, it's just how I feel, bro. And that's kind of interesting. If there is going to be a tie-in to a game, is it going to be a 2D game? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But here's the problem with this. Mario doesn't have an ass. Like, what's going on here? Like, what is this? It's pancake ass. Like, that's kind of weird. He's an Italian dude. He's always kind of had an ass in the video games. Where's the ass here? I don't really get that. But I like the look of this. I think it's interesting. I'm not the biggest movie guy in the world. Chris Pratt is doing the voice of Mario, and I'm kind of like, Chris Pratt, yeah, he kind of sucks, bro. And I only really know him from, like, the Jurassic World movies, but maybe it's his character that I don't like more so. But, you know, how are you going to do a voice of Mario when you're Chris Pratt, who looks like he was born and raised on a farm in Texas? I'm not quite sure, but it's going to be interesting. I will check it out of morbid curiosity. Maybe I'll make a reaction to it. Maybe I won't. I feel like this would be something that gets copyright claimed, but I don't know. Maybe I will. Is this movie of interest to you? Are you excited for a Nintendo Direct with absolutely no video games on there? And don't bitch in the comments section. It says Nintendo Direct, clear as day, on this promotional material. Let me know in the comments section down below. Alrighty, so that's going to do it for today's video, but before we go, I do want to give you guys an interesting update. I, of course, run the Spawncast after show on Saturday nights that happens after the Spawncast over on my secondary channel. It's pretty much just a show about, like, debauchery and just random nonsense. We talk a little bit about video games on there, but I thought, you know, what's a fun way to get more people to watch it and to get more people interested and kind of give it a bit of an identity. So I've decided to reach out to Zach from Switch Force, and he is actually down to come through on the after show. I will make an announcement on when that is going to happen, because I feel like that's going to be a very, very entertaining show. So Good Morning Mario will be invading the Spawncast after show. I'll keep you guys updated on that. I figured some of you guys would enjoy that information. But yeah, let me know in the comments section down below what you think of everything going on. The PlayStation update, is this what you wanted to hear? Is this, you know, just more fluff from them? And the Nintendo Direct, are you excited? Are you excited for assless Mario? And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Hit that bell notification as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.